What's going on, guys? Brent Edmonds here with the Academy again. Um, so glad that you're here right now, getting that learning in. Okay, today's lesson is all about hitting. Okay, everything that you need to know and understand to be able to get started, because the whole goal behind it is to get each player to the point where we can start feeling our adjustments without anybody having to tell us. That is the biggest key to growing in this game, is making those in-game adjustments. Coaches love that, by the way, once you get to that point, because it just first off, it makes coaching very easy, and you don't have to worry about it too much. And because when you don't want to overcoach as a coach, especially during games, they should be prepared enough to that point that they can make those in-game adjustments. Because, I mean, just think about it. You get 3 mound visits as a coach. You know, say you're a pitcher. And let me just grab something real quick. But everything we're doing within this program is a progression. Okay, first thing you had to do was do the mindset challenge. If you haven't done that, stop this video right now. Go over and do the 3-day mindset challenge. Okay? Make sure you go and do that. It's going to be a separate login to a members area. Okay? And you know what? I'll put up a link. Maybe not within the hitting, but it's going to be off to the side. Okay, just to remind you to make sure you do the 3-day mindset challenge. Okay, each video unlocks each day. It's roughly 20 to 30 minutes, all about right here. Because if we're not strong here, it doesn't matter how hard you train, okay? Because if you come across failure and you fail, say you have an 0 for 4 game and you're just down in the dumps now, but you could have prevented that. It's about changing that mindset. I mean, were you 0 for 4 or 4 strikeouts and, I mean, they were just bad at bats? Or were you 0 for 4, but you got a hard hit out? You moved a runner over. You got a sac fly. Okay? Maybe you walked once or got hit by a pitch or reached on error. That means that you were 4 for 4 that day, or 5 for 5. Say you were 0 for 4 with a walk. You were 5 for 5 on the date, so you had a good day. Okay? That's all about your quality at bats and the mindset that you carry at the plate. Okay? You got a job every single time. Okay? I got a lot to cover, so I mean, this video is going to be roughly anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes. Not sure how long it's going to take, just knowing me. I know how long I can get and how deep I can get into different aspects of the game. So, I mean, I got a list of everything that I'm going to cover right on this note card. Note cards are great. You can even create one for yourself. Any kind of reminders that you want during the game, get it laminated and stick it right in your back pocket. Because if this isn't laminated, the ink's going to smear. You're going to have to rewrite it every single time. So I would suggest laminating it. Or if you don't have a laminator or nowhere to go, stick this in your bag, okay, as reminders, and stick to that in between innings. Just go to your reminders, like, hey, I got to do this, just like a quick little reminder. It could be mental, it could be hitting, it could be pitching. You could have one for every area of the game. That's up to you. Whatever's going to work best for you. So just a little bit on the programs at hand. So like I was mentioning, do the 3-day mindset challenge. Get this going right here. Okay, believing in yourself, playing free of failure, become a student of the game. That's why you're here, because if you went through that, it took you right here. Okay, to becoming a student of the game. Because when you become a student of the game and you have the knowledge to back it up, you're going to be a lot more confident and be able to handle the failures a lot better. Okay, you're going to be able to react to it, and you're just going to use it to get better. Okay, and you're not going to see it as like I had a bad game, or I mean, if you evaluate that it was a bad game, say like I was mentioning 0 for 4, 4 strikeouts, what could you do better? You sit there and you evaluate your performance rather than just put your head down in the dumps saying, I suck at this game. I don't want to play it. I just suck. Well, with that kind of mindset, I mean, it's going to be hard to last. This game is a game of failure, and it can chew you up and spit you right back out. Okay? The starter course is to give you the basics and the fundamentals. Okay? Then if you did not purchase Prime and you wanted to go through the starter pack first, I would definitely suggest you go through the entire starter pack. If you like it, the Prime is going even deeper, more into the approaches, more into, especially approaches, okay, big thing is approaches, and the different mindsets of becoming a really good hitter, okay, but you have to get the fundamentals down first before we even focus on that, okay, and, the last thing I got 2 more things. If you're a pitcher and a hitter at the same time, I would definitely suggest you get one of these. Okay. One time, I didn't have this. I actually had to get taken out of the game because I couldn't grip the bat because the vibration of the bat when I got jammed my thumb. And I think I was pitching that day or playing the field. I can't even remember, but I couldn't even grip the baseball because my thumb wasn't functional. This will decrease the vibration that you get through the bat in case you mishit it. Okay, definitely get one of these if you are a pitcher and put it on your throwing hand. Okay, if your throwing hand is your top hand. Okay, typically you don't get the vibration on the bottom hand, you only get it on the top. So definitely get one of those. And also the last thing before I pause and get everything set up, make sure you're training in all conditions. I mean, you go to a facility, you got flat ground, you got perfect bullpen, everything's perfect, right? It's ideal. But that's not realistic. Hitters are going to dig out the box. They do. It frustrates me too. But you got to learn to hit in those conditions. You may have the sun pointing right in your eyes while you're hitting and it's hard to see. Well, train that way. Go up to a field, find a field that's pointing right in the sun at a certain time. Train that direction. I mean, one way to counter that is to wear sunglasses while you hit. I would for sure suggest getting the Prism lenses by Oakley. Those are one of the best because they actually enhance your eyesight a little bit because of the colors within the lenses. It actually enhances it a little bit more. Also, the Prime Pack has vision training, which is absolutely awesome. May not combat the sun, but it's going to help you see the ball a lot better no matter what. I mean, I'm in Ohio, whole bunch of snow. You may be playing in snow. It may be cold like this. Go out there and train so you're prepared when that kind of weather happens. Okay, if it's raining that day, train with the wet ball. Throwing with the wet ball, hitting with the wet ball. Okay, make sure you're training that way as well. Train in all conditions so you're prepared in the game. Alright, so I'm going to pause real quick, get my area set up. The first thing we're going to talk about is your box setup. My head may be cut off a little bit just because of the angles I got in my house, but bear with me. After that, I'm gonna pause it, set it back up where you can see me the entire time. Okay? So bear with me real quick. Okay, like I said, my head was gonna be cut off during this video. Just getting my batting gloves set up. I'm a big fan of batting gloves. There's some guys out there that aren't. It is what it is. Okay? So, your box setup. I mean, you got home plate. Personally, it doesn't matter if you're all the way up here, all the way back here. Okay, as long as you're consistent, you can cover the plate. Alright. One coach that it always stuck with me, and I've always done it since, was putting that front foot even with the corner of home plate. Okay, and then I mean when you stride, yeah, you're gonna be up here a little bit, but that shouldn't really matter at all. I'll get into Pete Rose theory here in a moment, but yeah. So when you set up, I'm gonna stand up. Okay, I got my straight line right here, my line, if you can see it. This is gonna be one of the drills that I'm gonna cover, that you can do on your own all the time. So I'm going to get myself set up. So this is about the back part of the box, right? I'm going to set my foot up right about even here, okay? I wouldn't suggest being too close to and crowding the plate and too far back. Find a nice even ground, okay? So you can hit the inside pitch, so you can hit the outside pitch, okay? So that's about it on box setup. Okay. Box setup is super simple to do. Just you gotta make sure you discipline yourself, because a lot of young hitters, they feel like they gotta be all the way up here. Okay. And then they're not really hitting pitches and seeing the success that they want. And you get a lot of frustration. And if you're too far back, they're not patient enough to let the ball come to you. Okay? Unless you train and implement that. If you're right about here, it's going to help even out the timing. Okay? So I'm going to pause it real quick and get a little bit of a better angle for everyone to see. Okay? Alright, I am back, and afterward I was just playing around with the angles. I should have set up this way from the start, but either way, you should have the gist on how to set yourself up in the box. Okay, so next thing that we're going to talk about is grip. Okay, I'm going to move back just a little bit. Okay, so your grip. If you are a righty, obviously your left hand is going on the bottom, right hand on top. Okay, your top hand is the power hand. This one is the guide for the barrel. Okay, so grip right here. I used to be a knuckle, well, I would say still, if I were to hit the field, I'd still be a knuckles in line guy. Okay, this helped even out my bat path. Okay, helped even out the bat path to the ball. Okay, but it doesn't matter if you're there or there. I mean, if you're rolling over too much, yeah, go to the knuckles. Okay. Another thing is the top hand. If you've ever golfed before, okay, it's the fingertips. Okay, your top hand is in the fingertips. Okay, so let's just show it real quick. Okay, fingertips. Okay, I'm gonna grip it in there. Okay, if I have somebody come push against me, I mean it works better with a demonstration in front of you, because some of you may not believe me, but try it out. Okay, like to grip it right in the palm. Okay, right in the palm. Okay, this correlates into the ball, the power that you put into the baseball. Okay, when you stop at contact, okay, so boom, so say I'm at contact, if somebody were to push against my barrel, you would see the barrel going back like this, and it's hard for me to fight against that. Okay, but if I go into my fingertips, put it right into the fingertips, okay, just hold it in my fingertips, nice, easy, relaxed grip on the top, and I stop at contact. Somebody now goes and fights against me, you're going to see it go back just a little bit more. Okay, so your grip is super important, because if you say you're a palmer, and I used to be a palmer too, And there were times that this ball was right down the middle, and I'm used to driving that ball for a line drive right up the middle, right? Instead, it was a line drive over the second baseman's head. Because when I made contact, my barrel went like this. Still drove the ball, but it went right there. Instead of me driving through the ball and being strong with my fingertips, when I make contact right up the middle, that ball goes right up the middle. Okay? So, real important that you focus on the grip. Like I say, you can be a knuckle aligner. Okay? For me, that always helped even out the bat path to the baseball. Or if you're here, making sure you're still getting a good bat path to the baseball. I mean, if you see that you're rolling over, you're hitting a lot of ground balls, try out the knuckle line. Okay? Next thing on the list, your legs and your feet. Okay? So, this can be very complicated, especially for the young guys. You want everything to be in a straight line. And, we'll go a little bit more into that after this. But your legs and your feet are super important, because if these aren't in line, it's hard for the upper body to be in line. Okay? You want everything to be closed off and in a line, so then you can create that. So I'm right here. Hopefully my carpet don't move on me. But when you stride, you're here. Everything's closed. You're equal. You got a good power position. Then everything just fires through. Okay. Everything is in line. Everything's squared up and promoting good rotation. Okay. So you want to set yourself up that way. I mean, you can be. So let's go into stance. A little bit. That was the next point. You could be in open stance. Okay. But when you come to the point where you stride, you should be striding and you even out. Okay? You even out. Your front foot is in line with your back foot. Okay, that is your key. So that's where your feet need to be. In line with the back foot. Okay? Your legs should be in a nice, good athletic position. Okay? Because when you're too upright, it's hard to hit. It's hard to be an athlete. It's hard to hit that ball oppo. It's hard to hit the inside pitch. So, be an athlete even when you're hitting. Create a little bit of rhythm within your legs. If you don't want the rhythm, just stand still. Simplify it right here. Okay? Even if you're closed off. If you close yourself off. Stay here and still allow yourself to have that good hip and upper body torque rotation. Okay? So, like I was mentioning on a stance, it shouldn't matter if you're open or closed. Those are the two most popular. You don't see too many that are closed. The two most popular are, straight line, I would say open. But either way, you're still getting to that same point. Your stance is your stance. Whatever works for you, whatever you're comfortable doing, do that and work on it. Okay? If you're open, but you're staying open, keeping the hips open, rotating, okay? Even yourself out, stride straight toward the pitcher. Okay? It's a simple fix. Okay? Or, if you're open, really make sure you get your foot in line with the back foot. And the drill that's going to help at the end that I'm going to show you, they're simple. They're at-home drills. Those are the type of drills that I'm going to give you to make you better and more comfortable in your mechanics. Okay? It's all about getting yourself in good straight lines. Everything is about straight lines. It's the quickest path to a ball, quickest path to get to a destination, right? Next thing. We just went over stance, your load. Okay? A lot of people feel that when you have your hands here, that you need to take them back. Okay? Notice where my hands are right here. When I start taking them back, they go up, right? You shouldn't be moving your hands back. Okay? Because the key to hitting is using this back leg to create that momentum and drive through the baseball. Okay? So I want to use my back leg so when I stride, so I'm coming here, I'm even, okay? And as I stride, you notice where my hands are right now. I'm not going to move them. I'm going to use my back leg. You notice how my hands went back right there? I didn't move them back, okay? I used my back leg to move my hands back by moving forward. Okay, everything's about moving forward. Okay, so right here, one more time, I'm going to use my back leg to take my hands back without having to actually take my hands back. So they're right here. Back leg. Now I'm in a good athletic position to hit. Boom. Okay, it's all about simplifying the swing. That's one way to do it. The way that I like doing it is just presetting them, getting that rubber band stretch. You may have heard this, you know, I don't know how many coaches are still using that terminology, but creating that rubber band stretch. So hands are back and the stretch from front foot to hands. You're stretching that rubber band back. Okay? I used to like just getting them back preset so I didn't have to take them back. So I didn't have to take them back. Okay, some people can take them back as long as you're keeping them the same level. Too many young hitters you see can be up here, and before they start their swing, they bring their hands down, and when you start moving different body parts, you start seeing, you start trying to catch up. So then you get under the ball here and you foul it off. Instead of, you were just here and took your hands to it. Boom. Now you got a base hit. It's all about simplifying. Some start low and they take their hands up. Okay, it's all about the straight line back. So that would be the third way. So if you can time it up, your body and your legs at the same time, that's perfect. If you like doing it that way. So right here, boom, I'm going to take my hands back. They all went into a straight line. Okay, and I'm still in a good, powerful position. And I'm not going to leave myself to swing underneath the ball, to swing down on the ball. Okay? So that's one way. I would definitely suggest, if you're struggling with it, is just get your hands all the way back so you don't have to move them. All you have to do now is stride. Your hands are already in position, and then swing. Okay, swing through the ball. Next thing is your head. This is not moving. I used to have trouble with this at times too, because I thought when I had to create my load that I had to come up, and then when I landed, my head came back down. So this head movement made the ball look like it was faster. Okay? So if you ever catch yourself in that situation, you gotta sink lower, simplify the swing. So my hands are staying here. All you gotta focus on is the pitcher at hand, or visualizing the pitcher, and then stride. Okay, the head stays there. Okay, this is going to help slow down, seeing the pitch, and whatnot. The only time your head is moving is when you're going to track the baseball. Okay, so right here, the only movement, because I'm not moving it up and down. Okay, because then you lose sight of the ball for a little bit, and then it looks faster. So what you want to do is track. Right here, my head's going to stay the same, and then all it does is track. I'm still on the same plane. I'm not losing the ball, and I'm tracking it right in. Okay? And that's another thing. If you take a pitch, track it all the way through. Okay? Get in that habit. Track it in. Okay? Too many young guys, even some of my teenage boys, when they take, and they know they're going to take, they just keep their head here. The ball's already by them. Okay? This one kid this past summer took a lot of hit-by pitches, and most of them were in the head. I mean, obviously when he saw it coming at his head, he'd move his head, but, I mean, in order to prevent yourself from getting hit in the face, you don't need a C-flap, first off. C-flaps kind of block your vision a little bit too. They may look cool, the pros are doing it, but in order to guard yourself up is being able to track. So when that ball's coming in, you see it coming in towards you, instead of moving out the way and chancing that, you roll with the pitch. Okay, you turn that front shoulder in. Alright, that was just a little hit by pitch drill. It just came up out of nowhere. Okay, everything's in a straight line. Okay, so I do have my straight line. I don't know if you can see that, but I'll line up with you. Okay, my front foot is with my back foot. Oh, another thing with feet, sometimes when you land, foot turns. Okay, foot turns. So if you want to prevent that and eliminate the wasted energy within your swing, open your foot up a little bit. Okay, about a 45-degree angle. So everything in a straight line. Okay, I'm ready to hit right here. I'm in my athletic position. So it's not just your legs and your hips, your shoulders as well. Okay, your shoulders need to, sorry, my screen was dimming. So I'm ready to hit right here. Your shoulders still need to be square. So kind of like I'm going to teach within pitching is looking down the gun barrel. Okay, to see your target, you got to be in that straight line, looking at your target to be able to hit your target. Okay, same thing applies to hitting, pitching, throwing, anything that you do. Okay, so your shoulders are going to stay in line. So when you're here, you want to show them your numbers. That's creating that extra torque. Okay, show them your back pocket, show them your numbers. Now I'm ready to hit. Okay, and then everything's in a straight line. And I'm just gonna boom, fire through, and hit the ball. Give me a breather for a second. So yes, everything needs to be in a straight line. Okay, straight lines are your key. Okay, because if you're stepping off that straight line, that's when you're going to have those issues occur, if you're opening up and whatnot. So, next thing, timing. Timing can be pretty complicated at first, okay, especially where I taught you how to be in the box. So, I mean, if you're gonna do that and you're gonna stay in the one place in the box, you gotta wait for that ball to come to you. Okay, a lot of young hitters wanna try jumping for it, and then we get up on the front. Okay, you're never gonna hit off speed doing that. Okay, when you land, you want to land 50-50. Okay, right here, land 50-50. This is going to allow you to hit all pitches, drive all pitches. If you're struggling with that, go with what Pete Rose used to do. Pete Rose would figure out the pitcher within the first few pitches. If he's throwing slower, he'd move up in the box. Okay. If he's an off-speed pitcher, he found out, he moved up in the box. If he's a little bit harder of a thrower, he moved back in the box. If he's right in between, about the average pitcher, he'd be like right in the middle. Okay. If he's slower, sometimes he'd crowd the plate. Sometimes he'd back up, so he gave his hands room. Okay, your box setup. On timing. But the key to timing is, okay, if he's a fast thrower, so when he lifts, and he's a faster thrower, that's when I'm getting my front foot down, ready to hit. Okay, now I'm slowing down the game because I'm in control. And the second thing is, if he's a slower pitcher, when he goes to, okay, release, so when he gets here and he's about to release the ball, that's when I'm going to get my front foot down. So I'm adjusting my timing due to the pitcher. Pitchers are not the same, throw the same speeds all the time. Okay. So that's a little bit on timing. We'll get a little bit more into the prime on timing. Your contact point. Okay, very simple. If you don't see it, hit your barrel. Did you even hit it at all? Okay. Too many young guys get so fascinated to see the flight of the baseball off the bat that they track the ball off the bat. But sometimes that leads to your issues. Okay. You got to see, boom, contact point. You got to see the barrel hitting the baseball. And then you keep your head down. Okay. When you're here, you're going to know whether you hit a ground ball, whether you hit a line drive, hit a pop-up. You're going to see that result. Okay, you're going to know the result right off the bat. Yes, it is cool to see the flight of your ball, but you need to train yourself to see it hit the barrel all the way. And then keep your head down, and then you run and play the game. Okay? So that is that's one of the big key fixes, especially even high school guys. But so last thing, we're gonna focus. This is a big one. I'm gonna turn. Home plate here is bunting. A lot of young guys you're gonna see square up here to bunt. The reason this is a bad idea is because it's an unathletic position. The pitcher misses his spot. You could be taken square in the chest, and it's hard to get out the way of that. Okay, and then even pulling back, okay, you're still leaving yourself exposed to get hit. Okay, or at least get hit in a poor manner, right? In a way that could potentially lead to injury. You're keeping your face exposed, and it's harder to get out of the way. Okay. Only thing you need to do as the bunter, okay, you're gonna set up normal. If you know you're bunting and you know you got your job, okay. Our coach used to teach us casting. Right here, boom, boom. Okay. So that's one way to do it. You could easily preset yourself. Okay, but you're gonna be in your hitting position. You're gonna be in the hitting position. I'm gonna say it again. What you're gonna do when you know you're bunting, when you're about to square, you move up. So now you're out in front of home plate. Okay, what this does, it's gonna give you more fair territory to work with. A better chance that you're gonna get your job done by moving up and getting the bunt down. Okay, that's your first thing. So I'm in my hitting position. I'm gonna move up in the box, then I'm going to square. Okay, now I'm gonna move my hand up, bottom hand up, right in the middle, and I want my barrel to be squared. Okay, about very close to even with the shoulders. Because if the pitch is low, I use my legs to go down and get it. Okay, and I want to be low. Okay, because if it's up, boom, I can still get my job done. Bunting is so easy. and we neglect it because we don't work on it. Pros don't do it. Pros are lazy with it, so we don't feel the need to do it. But it's such a great aspect to add to your game. And if you can really get it down and learn how to bunt for a base hit, which I'll get a little bit more into in the Prime Pack, is bunting for a hit. That's just an additional way for you to potentially get a hit. Okay? It can increase your batting average by, 50, 60, 70 points if you can add 6 or 7 hits all via the bunt. Okay? And the best part about it, when you sacrifice to move a runner over and you give yourself up, yeah, I know we all want that base hit, we all want that RBI, yes. But if you bunt, move him over, next guy behind you comes up and gets that base hit, you just hit him up and you help the team out. It's about helping the team to win. It's not about your overall stats. Okay? So keep that in mind in your mindset, especially if you're given the bunt sign. So the big key, keeping squared, barrel even, low. Okay? So if that ball's low, boom. Okay? And then, if you want it down the third baseline, use this hand to angle it that way. Okay? Or this way. And another thing about moving up, because you're going to crowd the plate, you're going to cover all sides of the plate. You're going to get out in front of it. Alright. So, especially young guys, I'm just going to use my son's little box. Like to step out. So, one of the key fixes is you stick something behind them to get them in that straight line. Okay? Get them in that straight line with their back foot. Because now it's going to prevent them from stepping out. If they're stepping too close in, obviously, you put it here, so then they stay in a straight line. Okay? Such an easy fix that some just don't think of, which is fine. But that's how you can fix that, get them in a straight line, prevent them from stepping out. Because when they step out, shoulders fly open, and the only pitch that they're going to be able to hit is an inside pitch, and it has to be a fastball. You want to set your players up to succeed, and in order to succeed, you need to be able to hit all pitches, and you need to be able to drive all pitches. Okay, whether it's off speed, whether it's fastball. Don't just set yourself up. Off speed has a little bit less of a chance to be hit. So that's why the one approach that I'm going to give you right here. Hunt the fastball. Because if you pass up on fastballs, when the pitcher makes a mistake and then you take it and you look like, oh my gosh, you may not get that pitch back. Swing at it. When you see it, you swing. Okay? Don't let those fastballs, especially mistake fastballs, where they miss their spot, go by you. Okay? When the pitcher gives you a gift, you take it. Okay, not literally take the pitch. You get after it. You're aggressive on it, and you swing, and you drive it. Okay? So this is to help prevent young hitters. It could even be older hitters that are just in that, the muscle memory is them stepping out or stepping in. You set something there to straighten up their lower half. Alright? And the last few things, so some drills that I want everybody to do. Okay, because I had a coach one time ask me, how'd you get better when we didn't want you guys doing anything? I did it at home. Sitting on the couch in front of the TV. If I was bored, I grabbed my glove, I went through my progressions. I went through, batting my hand, just going through. So dry work, okay? Really set yourself up, okay? get in your routine. Okay, just like you're in a game. Okay, and then boom, stride here. Check. Am I in a straight line? Okay, good. Where are my hands? Okay. Another good thing is, just like you see behind me is a mirror, you can get in front of the mirror, do the same thing so you can see the upper body. Okay, are my hands going up? Are they coming down? Or are they going in a straight line back? Or are they staying back? Okay, the mirror is perfect. Or you can have somebody video you doing it, just so you can see it as well. But just go through dry work. Right here, track the baseball, boom. All I did was track the baseball here. I didn't even swing. You can even practice adding your swing. That's just one way to do your dry work. Another way is to add in your swing. Adding your contact point, adding your swing and your follow through. Okay, here, boom. I'm going to track it. Boom. Follow through. Okay. I was always a one-hand release guy. So if you're going to be a one-hand release guy, you need to get to this point here before your hand comes off. Okay? Another thing. The biggest thing, if you're going to do anything before you start any of this, is make sure when you land soft. Okay? You land soft. You land soft. Soft and control. Okay? Because if you're going too fast, you're going to kind of stomp that foot, do whatever. Things are going to tense up on you. It's going to lead to different things getting added to your swing. You land soft, you're the one in control of your swing at that point. Okay, so that's another key point. So practice, boom, here, landing nice and soft. Okay. And then the last thing, okay, so while you're doing the dry work, you can even add in visualizing. I used to, at the time, Justin Verlander was like the stud. Excuse me. He was the stud. Starting off the game at 92 miles per hour, and then by the 9th inning, he was throwing 100. Everybody wanted to face him. He was like the best. Okay. A lot of people wanted to become him, and they have. Visualize hitting off somebody really good. Okay. So if I had my tee here, I used to do it off a tee. I used to do it in dry work. I'd visualize him going through his motion here. Boom. Track. Okay. Here. Boom. Track. Swing. All the way through. Okay. So add in the visualization. Okay, that was another drill that you can do separate. And then straight line. So if you're stepping out and whatever, I got my straight line. I would suggest using tape that is easy to pull off. I wouldn't put it on carpet because, if you can see it, this got all crooked and messed up. Put a straight line where your back foot is. And then right from about the middle of your foot, draw that line out to where you're about to stride, or even past your stride. Okay. And another thing that you see with a lot of young hitters is that they overstride. So if they're overstriding, one thing that you can do, you can come back to this. Right here. And then if they're overstriding, they can't go past this point. Okay, and now you just shorten their stride. Make that muscle memory, repetitions. Okay, it takes 1,000 reps to make it muscle memory. Okay, so be patient with it. Be patient with your drills. Okay, if you're not seeing the success and the results right away, stick with it. They'll come through. If you see them right away, then you lucked out. It's just a great pick. And it worked out right away. Now you're feeling confident, you're feeling good. If it doesn't work at first, don't give up onto it and go back to your bad old habits. Okay, that you may be, that are about 50-50, whether you get a hit or you hit it hard. We all want to get you to the point where you're, boom, driving the ball consistently hard. Okay? So those were a couple drills. So now I'm going to go get this into the members area for you guys to access. And stay tuned. In the next 5 days will be the pitching. Okay? And a lot of the same drills, pitching and hitting, you're going to find out to be very, very similar in the mechanics. And the drills that I'm going to tell you to do. Pretty much the same ones that you just got right here. Okay? So stay tuned and go check out the bonus area courses. Okay, the bonus area courses are meant for you guys. Some may be read, and I may have some videos in there. I also added a how to be prepared. Okay, because a lot of coaches they will count you out if you're not coming prepared, if you're not ready. Okay, you may get punished and wonder why. Well, that's why, because you didn't come prepared. So I think that's an important lesson. Make sure you go through it. It's pretty short, like 10-15 minutes, unlike this one. Okay, and make sure you click and do your homework. And one thing I wanted to add, before you do anything hitting wise, stretch out. Do a dynamic warm up. Do the bat stretches. If you're not a Prime member yet, the Bat Speed program in there, you know, I show the bat stretches. Okay. If you already know them, go through them, and make sure you're loose before you do anything. Okay? Stay tuned, guys.